Yo, what's going on, Lakers fans? This is Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and today let's talk about Dalton Knecht. Because the main question I have is, did Dalton do anything right this summer? And so in today's video, we are going to dive into his eye-gougingly bad Summer League tape to try and excavate some silver linings. So why don't you like this video, comment down below, and most importantly, hit subscribe, and let's dive into things. So as you all know, Knecht struggled mightily on both ends of the floor for the Lakers this past Summer League. He looked disengaged, he looked frazzled and pressed, he was missing wide open shots, he was whiffing open layups, forcing up bad shots, and overall, it didn't really look like he improved on any one skill from last season. In fact, it seemed like he had actually regressed in a lot of ways. In his 3 games in the California Classic, Dalton Knecht averaged 13 points, 5 rebounds, 1.3 assists on a very poor 37% from the field and an even poorer 23% from 3, hitting only 1.3 threes a game in 27 minutes per game. And those stats include his breakout 25.8 rebound game versus the San Antonio Spurs, in which he scored 13 points in the fourth to help lead the Lakers to victory. But apart from that game, DK was consistently mediocre to downright bad. And somehow things only got worse in Vegas, where Dalton Knecht averaged 10.3 points, 4.7 rebounds, 1.3 assists, on an abysmal 28% from the field and 24% from 3, knocking down 1.7 threes a game. And somehow, those paltry stats still don't seemingly tell the tale of how porous, lead-footed, and stiff he looked on the defensive end. So that's all the bad. Now, what are some of the good, if there are any? First and foremost, let's talk about Dalton's driving. Because in spite of the poor shooting numbers, DK was still able to flash his most unique quality as a shooter, his ability to take it to the rack and finish. And it's his ability to leverage his shooting gravity by quickly attacking the gap and then flashing his athleticism and skill as a finisher that I'm still super high about. Because Dalton has some real athletic burst and strong, flexible creativity at the rim, often converting with his left hand or throwing up scoop-de-doo layups to evade defenders. And even when he missed, you could still see his speed and pop. Because at the end of the day, it's his ability to force defenders to overcommit to him on the perimeter and then immediately make them pay by putting real pressure on the rim that makes him a true lethal shooter. And related to his speed and athleticism, DK was still also able to flash his dynamic play in transition as well. Because whether it's as the grab-and-go guy with a live dribble who can take it all the way down the court himself, or as a finisher sprinting towards the hoop for a highlight play, Dalton really knows how to push the pace. Sometimes he can force the issue a bit, but in general, his ability to attack a scrambling defense and keep defenders on their heels is a true asset. And ultimately, it's his ability to constantly put pressure on the rim, both in the half court and especially in transition, that separates him from one-dimensional shooters like Cole Swider. No offense to the Swider man. But make no mistake about it, the lethalness of Dalton's transition game still very much stems from his ability to stop on a dime and pull up for a 3-bomb. Next, and this is a small thing, but I also just appreciated Dalton's rebounding. While he didn't do a good job of keeping his man in front of him, he at least did a good job of cleaning up possessions. And 5 rebounds a game isn't anything to scoff at, considering Dalton's ability to grab and go, and the fact that Rui Hachimura averages about the same amount of rebounds. Also, he just has a great knack for corner crashing and securing the ball on the offensive end of the floor, doing a great job of moving off ball to find the best angle to sky in and extend possessions for his team. Speaking of off-ball play to the rim, that's the one aspect I wish we had seen more of from Dalton in Summer League, but with much better playmakers around in the NBA, his expert cutting acumen should be more apparent. Next, let's talk about his mid-range game, because while he didn't take or make a lot in Summer League, I'm still a big believer in Dalton's pull-up mid-range jump shot. In my opinion, it's one of his most lethal weapons in his offensive bag that could raise his ceiling as a scorer. Hang dribble, stop on a dime, and pull up anywhere like KD. It's so silky smooth to watch. And then, he also showed some flashes of connective playmaking as well. He swung the ball and kept it moving in rhythm. He hit guys on the roll as the pick-and-roll ball handler. You could tell that his gears were definitely turning to get himself out of his typical tunnel vision towards the basket. But this is definitely a skill that he needs to learn to embrace more at the next level in order to fully round out his game. Lastly, did Knecht do anything on the defensive end worth giving a damn? Well, this is where I'll stop talking and let you decide. Alright, so clearly not too much there. Consider the D in DK to still be a massive work in progress. So there it is, some summer silver linings to Dalton Knecht's summer from hell. Was I grasping at straws? Was it a stretch? Or was it just a poor stretch from Dalton Knecht? Having said that, we know what Dalton can do as a real rotation player in the NBA. And last season, Dalton still finished third in the NBA amongst all rookies in total three-pointers made with 128 threes. And in 16 games as a starter with the Lakers, Dalton averaged 16.7 points, 5 rebounds, 1.3 assists on 46% from the field and 39% from three, knocking down 3 threes a game. Those are stellar numbers. And surrounded by better spacing, better players to take attention away from him, and better playmakers, Dalton should more easily thrive and gain a rhythm for himself once again as an off-ball shooter, cutter, and rim runner. Moreover, in the small sample size of games that he did play with Luka Doncic last season, the two seem to complement each other very well, which makes intuitive sense given Dalton's dynamic ability to be an outlet as a spacer, cutter, and transition rim runner. So yeah, while his summer league should definitely be a cause for concern, it's also probably wise to not let recency bias rule the day and to overly panic on the talented heat-seeking bucket getter. And in that same vein, maybe we should pump the brakes a little bit when it comes to getting frisky, throwing him into any and every trade to get back scraps. Because again, we've seen what he's capable of doing in real NBA games. And even if you look at the few things that he did do well in Summer League, it's still rare to find shooters like Dalton Knecht with his type of size, burst, and athletic pop. And if Dalton can just regain some of his confidence, play a little smarter and more engaged, and learn how to position himself in less compromised spots defensively, then maybe Dalton can reconnect the dots of the best parts of his promising rookie season prior to all of the trade deadline noise. So hold off on the bust talk for now, because the season hasn't even started yet and the bounce back may be just around the corner, whether it's with the Lakers or another team. But what do you guys think? Are you down on Dalton, or are you still down with Dalton? Dalton Abbey. Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe. This is Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.